All right, let me turn all these other guys on here, the sexy ones, not me. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy pushing buttons today. So, all right, now I got the sexy ones on. Let me make sure I'm not getting an echo on my end, and then we are going to be, what is the industry term there, Eugene? Fucked.
Yeah. Fucked with the martini.
Ooh, hard as a potato. Look at that. There we go. There we go. Everybody's good. Hey, Crafty.
Hello, good evening. So yes, welcome everybody to another episode of Week in Horror. Thank you so much for everybody for joining us. We have a surprise. Motherfucking Alex is in the house. Looks like he is getting over it.
That way. Alex is not on mute. Wait. No, he's not. Jessica G's messing with me.
I was like, I can hear him just fine.
Yeah. Alex is not on mute. He's actually the loudest one of us all. Alex is not.
I think Jessica's fucking with us.
No sound for Alex. Wonder why. What did you do, Alex? That's
he didn't do anything.
It's coming through. Oh, fuck me running. God
What'd you do?
Damn it.
You didn't add him into the deal, did you?
No, he's added. He's added.
Did you mute? Is he just muted?
No, he's on monitor only.
Oh, monitor only.
Go. There we go.
So how about that, Alex?
You can talk.
Alex, you're going to go. Can you hear us?
Alex?
No, now he can't hear us.
What?
So now Alex is actually muted because we can't hear you.
Motherfucker.
Alex, give us a thumbs
with me.
No.
Alex, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
he can hear us.
Ain't that a bitch.
Come on, what the fuck?
Technology.
Technology. Let's see here. Let me run this really quick.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. We can hear you.
The little microphone on mine keeps going off and on.
Oh, see, it's not me this time. Yeah.
It might have been you. I don't know.
Okay, so live chat. Everybody in the live chat, can you hear Alex now? Now you can't fucking see him.
No, she's fucking with you now.
I had to refresh the cache. She's on there, I promise.
Okay, can the live chat see and hear Alex?
Hi.
Alex, you have to say something.
I'm talking.
Okay, fantastic. So, yes, I guess we kick off the show from this point.
God, thank you guys. I was just vocal warm-up. Awesome, cool, sweet.
So yes, to everybody who is not aware in the live chat, Alex and his entire family were out with the log allergy, the grossness that's going around. His kids, his pregnant fiance or his pregnant wife. Sorry, you guys got married, and Alex himself was just laid out. But now he is back, and about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks you were out.
It's been, I guess, it's been about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, it was rough, man. And it would be, It would be okay at some points of the day, but it was like we were sleeping. We couldn't stay awake for more than 5 or 6 hours at a time. And then we'd sleep, and I'd wake up and just have this terrible migraine, coughing fits, fever, headache, just like everything. And then, we'd go to bed and we'd wake up and everything would be okay, or somebody would be puking, or somebody had the chills, and it just rotated. It was just nonstop, just like one symptom after another. It was like having the flu and the cold and like the worst allergies you could ever have at the same time. And it was just hell. It was not fun. And then all of a sudden one day it was fine. And we were like, okay, maybe we're getting over it. And then the next day it was back at it again. It was fevers and it was terrible. I mean, luckily the kids were okay relatively soon. I think they were really only down and out kind of for like a week and a half, maybe a week. And they started feeling better. But yeah, and then when we started getting it, and after we tested positive, it was just like, seriously. And then even like today, I was like, okay, everything's fine. And then it was like, all right, now I got to take a fucking nap because I can't keep my eyes open. And then, yeah, I don't know. I started feeling better tonight.
Oh, no. So, yeah.
No, dude, it's
I'm
seriously.
sorry.
It's
Thank
like,
you, Jessica G, for helping us with our terrible, terrible technology issues. You are the best person in the world. You're my most favorite Jessica G in the world. And I hope you are always Jessica G for the Jessica G-ness.
Jessica's got you by the balls.
Jessica
Says the recently
G,
married man.
Jessica G helps to make this show. She really does, and I could not possibly appreciate her more. She was the first one in there. I think our first patron.
Oh, thanks for welcoming me back too, Jessica.
All right. Well, dude, we are so glad. We are beyond glad that you are feeling better. I know that things were pretty hairy there for a while. So glad you're feeling better. So glad the kids are doing better. And I was kind of surprised you're feeling well enough to pop on the show tonight. That's pretty awesome.
Kids went down early. I was like, hey, let me in.
Freaking sweet. And apparently, we've lost Johnny. I don't know where he's gone.
I heard a doorbell, so that might have been something.
Oh, he might have stepped away for a second.
Oh, man.
My DoorDash is here, motherfucker.
So, to everybody, let's just take a look real quick, see who is in the chat. Let's see who's checking us out. So, obviously, Jessica G, queen of our online world, the girl who makes this thing go round. Jessica G, thank you so much for popping in. PhD Tony's in the house, one of the 4 members of the Beardsmen. Love you, dude. So glad you're in here. Got a few others. Craft Tequila popped by, but I think she's probably sleeping because she's over in Scotland. So I think she's in Dublin. So, Crafty, thank you so much for popping by. Dark Steve 84 in the house. Thank you. And, of course, the rest of it is pretty much us. Just talking back and forth with them.
Sorry, Jessica just asked a question. Yes, most everybody is fine. My wife is still having a little bit of an issue, and she's pregnant. But we went and got the baby checked out. Actually, she went because it's COVID protocol, but she went and had an ultrasound done, and the baby was flopping around, kicking, heartbeat's good. We've been monitoring everything. So yes, everybody's feeling a lot better. With the exception of, we don't know if that's just baby sickness though at this point. So yes, the sore throats have gone away. We've been able to stay awake. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, right. We also got Tina Jones lurking in the chat. We see you, Tina. Thank you so much for popping by. Mr. Andrat, good evening, sir. So good to see you. And Catnip Entertainment, good evening. Thank you for popping into the show. And we'll see who comes along at the Historical Philosopher, my man.
What's happening, y'all? It's a party.
Jessica G, I said she was in Scotland. She's in she's in Dublin. She's in Ireland. Fuck. I fucked it up. This is not a history show. This is a horror show. And the horror show is that I do not know my geography, which is not history.
Let's say geography show, not a history show.
Oh man. Are you sure you're feeling okay?
Okay, no. This is the shit that normally gets edited out when we do the fucking podcast, okay?
I thought I was going to mess up first.
You see these people in the live chat, they made me do this. They say, we wanted it live. We wanted it live. We're going to take it fucking live, and they get to see how the horrible sausage is made. It's like the fucking jungle in here.
Yeah. and you are the liar.
That 2-hour podcast that you listen to takes like 5 hours to record.
Shit, we've rolled after, we've rolled it in the next day plenty of times.
Oh shit! At least it's not a double, man. I don't want to do any more doubles.
That was rough.
That was hard.
That was really rough.
Oh, thank you, Jessica G. I'm batting 250. That's fucking good for me. I'm kicking that. I'll take 250 any fucking day.
I've watched JL try to play sports before.
That's enough to keep me in the goddamn lineup.
That's true.
Now it's a sports show. What the fuck? I came out here to talk about goddamn fucking horror movies.
All right, let's say we light the fire on this bad boy. So, yes, welcome back, horror fans, to the Weekend Horror Podcast, the only podcast that floats down here. This week, we are covering select horror films released December 20th through December 26th. I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining us tonight. I am JL, and with me, as always, are Eugene, Johnny O, and Alex. The whole
What's up?
crew is here.
I know. What's up, everybody?
What is this magic?
What? Oh, hello.
Yes,
I thought we were doing sitcom intros.
Why do I write this fucking script? I swear to God. Why do I write this thing? Anyway,
Hey, I was there. I was on top. I was on top of the show.
Here.
Okay.
I wasn't here.
Jessica G says, I showed Tony a bunch of films for the past few days. Arrival, good. Or Area 51, decent. Digging Up the Marrow, very good. Lunopolis, pretty awesome. The Tunnel. Showing him Houses October Built, first one and the second one, because they're both good together. So a rare horror sequel that can live up to what the first one did. And Hell House LLC, that trilogy, Hell House LLC is really, really good too. But man, first thing I want to say now, since we're getting this thing started, big shout out to our new patron, Anthony Purcell.
What's up? Thanks, bro.
Who is our latest patron.
You're the best.
Thank you,
you guys
so much.
Are all the best.
So we appreciate it so much. You do help to make the show. The mess that it currently is. We will tighten it up, I promise. I think maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, Tony, your patron support is much appreciated. We love you for it, dude. We hope we can keep turning it out. We do have something new coming to Patreon for all of our patrons. It's called Weekend Horror Abattoir. And I'm so excited that I get to announce this bad boy because we've taken some advice from some of our listeners, and we are basically putting non-horror movie watchers, first timers, and popping their cherry and chewing them up and spitting them out in Weekend Horror fashion by giving them a bunch of horror movies to watch that I selected, and then then they'll come on the show and tell us what they thought, tell us all the nightmares that they had. That's going to be a lot of fucking fun.
First one, Cannibal Holocaust. I was
going to start easy with like Audition.
Green Inferno.
We could go the light version of Cannibal Holocaust, go Green Inferno. That one's okay. At least it has a funny like drug scene in it. They've got the munchies and they're cannibals. That's why it's funny. But yeah, I'll start. Maybe a Serbian film. 120 days.
Like that.
120 days of Sodom. I think that's good.
Human Centipede 3.
Oh God, that's just asking too much. Maybe the first Human Centipede, but no, if you really want to go hardcore, because Human Centipede 3 was just goofy. 2 was the fucking killer, the black and white one. Oh, that one was rough, especially the baby in the gas pedal team. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna go there. Okay. All right.
Rough fucking shit. Oh, but man, we got all 4 of us here, so we got some movies to get to. Anybody in the live chat, if you have not seen these films, the trailers. Every week, the trailers for the films that we talk about will be up in the Trailers and Recommendations channel on our server Discord. The link is in the description. It is a permanent link. You can jump that. You can join our Discord community where we've got trivia. We've got all kinds of cool stuff. We got trivia. We got trailers. We even have a theater where I show movies. I will show horror movies pretty much anytime. Whenever I'm free and I'm sitting in front of the computer, I will throw a horror movie up. And because I have all the streaming services, and I will gladly screen share this shit right over to you people and let you get to watch all the horror movies. So you don't have to pay for them. Yes, I paid for them, and you're my audience, so I will show them to you.
You should start showing the movies we're going to talk about.
I feel like that would be spoiling things.
Well, then the audience could get involved.
Well, then
So you can say they can chat about it too.
I'm just eating tots. Don't mind me.
That's
Spoiling things as
I
opposed to what we're
What do
doing
you
right
think,
now.
guys?
I did earlier. I showed Wolf Creek earlier this week.
I did see that. That's where I got the idea from.
Awesome. Well, let's light this fire. So Eugene's going to kick us off. Eugene, what film do we have up first? Oh, wait, shit.
Oh.
No, stop. Fuck, I forgot something. And this would
Usually.
be one of those moments that we edited and made it look all clean. Holy fuck, we have a trivia question tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a prize to give away.
We do?
Eugene, have you seen the prize?
Yeah, you showed me the prize
Okay,
already.
Alex has not seen the prize. I know Johnny's seen the prize. I showed Johnny.
Well, I don't show up for 1 week and you cut
Okay.
me out of the fucking group chat. Okay.
So
It was in the Facebook chat.
And it was in the Facebook chat. Okay, so
My bad.
to everyone in the live and to everyone in the chat, okay, and I don't see a lot of you, but I think PhD Tony's going to freak the fuck out over this. At the end of the show, there will be a trivia question, the same as there was last week, and we will give away an item. Tony won the last one. He won a limited edition Weekend Horror shirt, one of our limited edition artwork shirts. Remember, those are leaving Teespring at the end of the month. So limited edition. But we've got another prize this week. And I saw this and I was about to buy it for myself. I was like, nope, this would be a good giveaway. So pay attention to the show. The trivia question will be based upon what is going on in the show. And you could win if you were the first one to answer it correctly. You could win.
Yeah.
35th anniversary edition, The Thing art book.
Oh, shit. Nice.
375 pieces of artwork inspired by some of the leading artists. Tim Bradstreet, Dan Brereton, Juan Doe, Dave Dorman, Francisco Francavilla, God Machine, Tony Harris, and many, many others. 375 pieces of artwork inspired by John Carpenter's masterpiece. This bad boy is thick.
That's a
This thing
thick,
is awesome.
that's a thick boy.
This thing is factory sealed. So yes, this bad boy right here will be yours. We will ship this motherfucker to you for your own personal collection. All you have to do is be the first one to answer the trivia question. So pay attention tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hold on, I'm trying to log in as somebody else. So I can
I was going to do the same thing.
That's my strategy.
I don't know if they can see it. I'm going to set that fucker right
PhD Tony is actually Johnny.
there. There we go. I'm going to set that bad boy right there. Now that's a book. That fucker can stand up on its own. Holy shit.
That thing's big.
So can I don't see you giving me away.
Wait, what was
Not
that?
funny. Cool guy said, so can I don't see you giving me away. Hey, I know I'm a prize. Anyways.
Yeah, but your woman already got you. Eugene's the one they fucking want.
Take them.
Somebody has to be the sex symbol. I'm sorry.
Jessica G is thirsty for that.
And we will be going over to Eugene's OnlyFans called Week in Horror.
OnlyFans.com.
For $15.99, you can subscribe.
Oh,
to...
man.
Subscribe.
Yeah, I probably, Jessica G is right. Alex is right. I mean, you're afraid of spoiling the movie for them. I mean, isn't talking about a movie they may not have seen a spoiler. Technically, you are correct. We try, if the movie's recent enough, we try not to spoil the film.
Did you just say I'm sorry you were right to two people at the same time?
Yes, I did.
Holy shit. Mark that down.
I can apologize.
Screenshot.
I can apologize, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, so the trivia question is, we've made the announcement on that. Big thanks to Tony. Eugene, fuck it, I'm so sick. Take this fucker off. Run it. Do
All right.
it. Kick it
All right.
off. First film.
All right.
What do
Are
we
you
have?
ready to talk about some horror movies, right?
Let's talk about some goddamn horror movies.
And we'll start off with a little bit of Christmas horror, right? A little bit of Santa slaying people. You see what I did
there?
See? We are talking about Santa Slay, released December 20th, 2005. It was directed by David Steinman. and starring Bill Goldberg, Douglas Smith, Emil. I'm sorry ahead of time because it looks Spanish. Emilia del Raven and Robert Holt.
No, that's Emily DeRavin.
Emily DeRavin. And
What?
She was on Lost. She was in that Joseph Gordon-Levitt film, Brick. She was the girlfriend who gets killed. Yeah. I've seen way more movies than my co-host.
No, I've seen Brick. I was just thinking back. It's like
she was the blonde. She was the blonde.
Yeah, that's the one where they find the fucking cocaine or whatever.
Yeah, heroin. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, whatever, drugs.
And basically, in a nutshell, you have Santa, who has some demonic properties, and he kills people, and shit gets real.
There it is.
I swear, Eugene, that's just gonna be on your fucking tombstone. Shit.
I want it to be on my
tombstone. It's gonna be shit got real.
When we do our first con, we need to get him a shirt that just says "Shit got real."
That's gonna be on the back of his shirt.
Shit got real.
Shit got real.
Be like co-host Eugene Hawkins. Shit got real.
This movie was awesome though. The whole Santa's a devil making a deal with an angel. It's like, yay! Now this place.
Santa's like the fucking it's like the Antichrist.
What did I miss?
It's fucking crazy. We're in Santa's sleigh right now. Eugene just kicked us off. That's the one thing I dug about it. I had to watch this with Angela because Angela had never seen it before, and she was just laughing her ass off, which is great. She had a bad day. This movie will cheer you up if you've had a bad day. Fucking. I mean, the fucked up thing, the acting is not half bad. Sometimes you expect really stilted wooden acting, but it was shocking how many, talented actors are in this who can actually deliver, like fucking James Caan. Fucking James Caan was in this fucker. James Caan,
for like 20 minutes. Not even 20 minutes.
Oh, he was in the opening scene, but I mean, he had one major line when he threatens Chris Kattan. That was it. But you had James Caan, Chris Kattan, Fran Drescher, Rebecca Gayheart.
Fran Drescher. No, he was doing his Fran Drescher.
Oh, Fran Drescher, yes.
Yeah.
And so you have all them in the opening scene. Then you've got
that bad. Fuck me.
No, I got it right away. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, you did, but fucking hell.
So amazing amount of people in this, surprising amount of talent for a film like this. Now I figured out how this fucking thing got made. Because the dude who wrote it, it was written and directed by David Steinman, who was a former assistant to Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner has actually made this movie happen. He's the one who produced it. Otherwise, I don't think anybody would have touched this fucking thing. Because this was a movie. This movie was a favor for somebody, which is probably why it attracted everybody to it. Because it's a Brett Ratner produced film. It's so fucking silly. There is nothing deep about this movie.
No, and that's the thing.
The fucking Santa kills people and then talks like only in puns, in Christmas puns. His whole fucking script is Christmas puns.
But that's what makes it good is like you said, it's supposed to, it's not like an A-list movie at all, but the acting is like really good, so it flows, and you're like, okay, I want to stop, but I can't.
His opening line, he bodily comes through the chimney. Like a wrestler, because it's fucking Bill Goldberg. Comes through the chimney and says, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus." And then sets her on fire and then drowns her in fucking eggnog. That shit is fucking hilarious. It is literally just that.
You're like, that's great. He killed her.
I'm just saying, if you want to see a massacre over like a Christmas dinner, where he takes a star off a tree and throws it
like a fucking shuriken.
Straight like a boom. I was like, I didn't know Santa had skills like that.
Santa is a bad motherfucker.
It's such a.
Sorry, I've got work. Won't leave me alone.
It's such a wild movie. And it's definitely. I mean, it's not something you go. I mean, this is. I mean, there are some Christmas horror films out there that they'll have deeper. I would say deeper storylines that require you pretty much pay attention. This movie, you can literally walk out of the room for 5 minutes, come back. You ain't missed shit.
You didn't miss nothing except for
nothing.
What
Mac
Christmas
gets
horror
stuck in
films
the-
are deep?
Well, no, they have deeper storylines that if you were to miss some of it, you may actually miss
Like
what's going
what?
on.
Don't you say Krampus or Jack
No,
Frost?
no, like Silent Night, the original Black Christmas, not the remakes, the original Black Christmas.
Okay, yeah.
No, not
That's
those
right.
remakes. It was the original.
Yeah, the original Black Christmas, the good one. The other two were shit, but yeah, there were moments that you need to know what was going on with the characters in order to really understand, understand the whole entirely. Otherwise, you get to the third act, you're like, what the fuck is going on? But not this film. And that's why it's such a brilliant Christmas horror time waster. So much fun, and I have not laughed this much at a horror film in quite some time, despite how goofy. I mean, I've seen so many horror movies, and even this thing was funny as shit. Just when he fucking runs the old lady off the road.
That lady was a bitch.
She wasn't.
She deserved it though.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that PC bullshit. I'm Christian. You say Merry Christmas.
Right. All right, fine. Merry Christmas. Go fuck yourself.
To a Jewish butcher.
Yeah. Yeah, to a Jewish butcher. So he goes. He tells her Merry Christmas. Thank you. Go fuck yourself. What?
That's why she deserved it.
That's what
That's how
exactly.
movies
She
work.
deserved to get run over. That's right.
You say fuck you to one person, then you deserve to die in the movie. That's how it works.
In a horror film, if you're old and you tell somebody to go fuck themselves. That's it. You're done.
Jared, what was the
There are
dialogue?
three things that are guaranteed to get you killed in a horror film. One is being a sassy old bitch.
Oh yeah.
2 is being a ditzy dumb blonde woman.
Okay.
And 3 is being black. Eugene, I'm sorry, but you know it's
No,
true.
See, there's a reason why. There's a reason why we're killed off first in horror movies because
You gotta kill the faster
You're
ones.
the biggest threat.
you gotta kill the smart one because we're not gonna run upstairs or check the body. I hear a noise upstairs. Well, fuck it, I'm just gonna get out of the house.
I'm out.
Go
yeah, right.
Movie over. Like the end.
Nope, I'm out.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Don't you need to investigate?
Yeah, I
Nope.
feel like paranormal activity could only happen to white folk.
Yeah, where he's like, when he's sitting there yelling at the spirit, "Come, take me, take me!" And I'm like, no. First time the door closes, I'm out.
Wow,
Just
done.
out.
Yeah. Done.
Scream 2, the black guy that was in that survived. How did he survive? The minute shit got real, he jumped in a fucking
took off.
cab and took the fuck off. He left the movie until the body stopped dropping and then showed back up to do his job.
He's like, yeah.
Yep.
See what fucking happens?
Exactly. That's why LL Cool J is in the horror record books because he's the first black man that survived a horror film all the way through with Deep Blue Sea.
He survived. That's right.
No, he
survived.
wasn't.
No, I'm not saying he's first. I'm not saying first ever, but like first main black guy in a horror film that actually made it all the way through.
Do we really call his character a main character in that film?
He was that was
Oh,
more
supporting
ensemble cast.
character.
Jesus, just give it to him.
Yeah.
That was like, that was
No, I don't want to give it. LL Cool J sucks. The only reason why he has that distinction is because he refuses to die in film.
Yeah. Well,
He wanted
Like,
that.
that's part of his writer.
He wanted to be the black guy that doesn't die. So he didn't want to play the.
What's his name from Dream Warriors already had that?
Oh, Lawrence Fishburne.
No.
no.
Lawrence Fishburne was the orderly in that.
That's true, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, which one are you thinking of?
He's looking it up.
I am looking it up. You know why? Because I can't remember his name.
Nonetheless, I can respect that LL Cool J wanted that. He didn't want to follow the trope. What I didn't like was that Sam Jackson had to be the one to take the fucking hit.
To me, that death is epic though
He
because
dies
it's like
so
the spirit-
epically.
Yeah, like you remember that death. We will stand in God. Get up on a shark.
Oh, the fucking sharks ate me.
Samuel L. Jackson dies the best in any movie he dies in, though. Like if you watch like Kingsman, like when he gets, like he takes a bullet really well.
He really does.
I don't know. When he played Mr. Arnold, he didn't really die very well.
What about Jessica G says, what about the devil from Tales from the Hood?
Oh, yeah. That's a good, he was already dead.
Was the devil a framing device? Wasn't he the framing device?
And everybody in that film, with the exception of Corbin Benson, was black.
True.
So that doesn't count.
Such a white name, Corbin. Anyways, now we got Corbin.
Oh man, Well, this I really enjoy. I really enjoyed Santa's Sleigh. It's currently on Amazon Prime. I really dig it. It is the perfect. You got plenty of kills. It's wildly violent. It's a lot of silliness. The strip joint. What was it? Gold Diggers? No, what the fuck was the name of that place? Was it Gold Diggers?
Yeah, it was Gold Diggers.
Yeah, Gold Diggers strip club. You got titties. You got silliness. You got a hell of a lot of violence, and Saul Rubinek, pinned to a fucking wall with a goddamn menorah. Great shit. It's the goofy. This is the goofy, violent spirit of horror films. They don't need to be deep. They're just kind of to satisfy your kind of like your thrill for a second and to make you fucking laugh. Absolutely perfect.
Well, it's just meant to be fun.
Yeah, this is a fun. It is a super fun time.
JL,
do what?
You're awesome at dialogue. So what was the line in the movie when they were talking when what's his face? Shit, I forgot his name in the movie now. Whatever. When they're talking to Santa and he's like, "It's midnight in the North Pole" or whatever.
Oh, he was the kid was going by Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's past midnight. And he was like, you kids think you're so smart.
He's like, many make this mistake.
But all the time zones converge on the North Pole.
And
so
then
Christmas is over when I say it's over.
Mac is like, he's evil and educated.
Like, he's really scary, but he's educational too.
Yep.
I really learned something.
I don't know. If I saw that line on paper, I don't know if I could deliver that line. But she knocked it out of the park. She just kind of leaned over to her boyfriend. He's really scary, but he's educational too. It's like, holy fuck.
Listen. In the pitch meeting where they're like, okay, so we have an Antichrist Santa. You know what you're getting into right off the bat. The film gave us okay. And everybody remembers the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the kind of claymation special we see every single year. They had a sequence in this film that only with like Demon Santa and the Angel, and he lost it. They were curling. They were curling, and he lost the curling. Fucking Goldberg picks up that fucking. I don't even know what that device. There's got to be someone in the chat who knows.
What?
Who in the chat knows in curling the
You're
thing
talking about the rock thing that they slide, right?
The rock thing with the fucking handle.
Yeah, the handle on it.
Are you kidding me? You're talking about fucking Minnesotan right here.
You're a minute. You're a minute. Oh my god. Well, there's a broom, and he brooms off the bottom of it, but then he slides the fucker. So what is that thing called? What's the rock called?
The rock.
The puck.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh, okay. So we totally overthought it. Because it looks like a stone. I like to watch curling. So it looks like a stone that has a handle on it. I just thought it had a fancy name.
Yeah, I thought it actually had a name.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called a rock or a stone, but yeah, it's just
okay.
Like
well, yes.
Rock.
Well,
it's a rock broom, bro. It's fucking your broom and ice sliding a rock. How do you think it started? They just put a handle on a fucking boulder and they're like, "Let's do it." It gets weird in Minnesota.
Before we go jump on, I gotta know. Okay, anybody who's seen the show, and if you're in the live chat, I just
you're right.
But Eugene, favorite kill in this movie?
Oh man, the favorite kill. It would probably have to. I want to say the shuriken in the back. It should because like, you see her running towards the door, And I was like, okay. I was like, man, she's kind of far away. I wonder what he's gonna do. And he takes a Christmas tree, takes the star off, and I was like, no, this isn't. No. Oh, is Santa a ninja too?
That shit is great. Alex, favorite kill in this movie?
See, okay, the fucking the star one was. I was gonna say that, and then Eugene, I don't know. The table leg to the head was pretty brutal, but yeah, I don't know.
Johnny O.
See, if I gotta pick a different one, the lady getting run off the road.
The old lady.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one I'm going with because you know the reason why that's in there, right?
Why the old lady gets run off the road?
Yeah.
No, tell me.
Because of the song, Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
No, but they made that joke when Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah,
I know that. I know that. But come on, this is really this one is that was a joke, like the spoken joke, but this is the actual visualization of Grandma getting run over by a reindeer.
That's fair, I guess. But
I
Grandpa got run over by the hell deer.
No, because he jumps off the fucking sleigh and says, "Oops, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer."
Yeah.
Oh, you know which one I just remembered? The stripper pole one. The electrocution through the stripper pole.
Yeah, the one that gets me every time, fucking Virginia in the beginning, because the fact that the way when Fran Drescher screams, it's so, it's nightmares from the nanny. But she's like, no Santa after. Oh, okay. I didn't see. I think that was champagne that he was drinking, that he grabbed. It was something flammable anyway. Then he sets her on fire.
Champagne's not flammable.
Yeah, it's not flammable. I don't know what the fuck it had to be some sort of
brandy.
It had to be some sort of hard alcohol,
Yeah.
but it was like in a champagne bottle. So
probably brandy.
He drinks that, and then he sprays at her and sets her on fire. Then Chris Kattan does the whole like, and then he just like watches him, and then big boots him and he fucking dies.
And then he flies into like a shell.
Yep.
And then my favorite kill is the smoking Virginia screaming "No Santa" in that Fran Drescher voice, head first into a fucking bowl of eggnog and drowns her clean ass. While James Caan is trying to grab the knives that he's pinned to the table with his teeth. It's so fucking ridiculous.
It's so twisted, and you're getting off on it. This show is ruined, JL.
The movie took me by surprise. I was really expecting shit. Now, but I'm a big fan of Bill Goldberg.
No, you still got shit.
Oh yeah,
right? You got shit, but it was just packaged really well to be funny.
Packaged
it's
very
funny
well,
shit, but it's
quite,
still shit.
It knew what it was right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the best part about this movie. Yeah, this movie doesn't take itself seriously.
At all.
It's meant to be stupid. It's meant to be just fun, brainless entertainment. Mm-hmm. And it succeeds on every level.
Well, the fact that obviously he's got arts. He breathes fire. He's got Christmas bombs that he like presents that he throws that explode and kill people.
Explosive presents.
He's got was that candy cane glow sticks, so he could see in the dark. I don't know what that was. He did something. Because the lights are out and he walks around. He's got this like glowing green candy cane. I don't know. So he's got that shit. He's got smoke bombs dressed like just disguised as ornaments, so he can and then throw it.
Yep.
And of course the sleigh with the giant the white buffalo hell deer. The hell deer. Which itself also got a kill because it ate one of the valets.
I think this might be one of JL's favorite villains.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Bill Goldberg. I was a fan of him in WCW. I was a fan of when he came over and he started kicking ass in the WWE. There was a movie that he was in where he kind of played himself called Ready to Rumble.
Wow. I got to interrupt you for a second.
What?
I'm reading the chat, and Man Devil, well played, sir. Well played.
I saw the link to this and to think, I hesitated.
And what's up, Kevlar?
Yes. Oh, like check
Thanks
it out.
for stopping by.
Speaking of going to the chat,
clap.
yes. So we've got.
Golf
Oh,
clap.
That was the cue. That was the cue. Theoretic, good to see you. Mandeville, thank you so much. And Gavlar, the Hand of Zod, another one of our beautiful patrons. Love you, dude. Thank you so much. Jeff Roberts is in the house. Don't worry, Jeff. We've only covered one film, so you are not too late.
Don't worry, we were fucking late too.
A little bit, yeah.
Don't tell them. They don't know if they're late.
But yes, for anybody who has to check this out, it's on Amazon Prime. It's if you still have to rent. I think it's like $2.99 to rent. Totally worth
Fucking
it.
worth it.
It's fucking worth
so
it. Yeah.
fun.
It's
So
Oh, like I was saying, I'm a big fan of Goldberg. He was in a movie with David Arquette and the other con.
Yeah.
Steve? No, shit. He was in Varsity Blues.
oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know, his last name's Khan as well. But anyway, it's them, and they go on a road trip to try and find their favorite wrestler, the one they're big fans of, and kind of like bring him back because he gets fired. But it's a wrestling movie. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. That was fucking hilarious.
Oliver Platt.
That came out like
Platt.
late 90s.
Oliver Platt, yeah, he's the.
Oliver Platt played the wrestler, but there's a scene in there where you get to see fucking Goldberg. And I'm telling you this, Goldberg is big. He was big and ready to rumble. He's even bigger in this motherfucker. If you think Chris Hemsworth's arms are big, fuck that. Thor decided this motherfucker's got big ass arms. And there's a scene in
This
Ready to
motherfucker's
Rumble.
got steroid arms.
There's a scene in Ready to Rumble when Oliver Platt goes off on Goldberg. He's like yelling at his face, and Goldberg just grabs his face and just chucks him like 3 feet. Like this shit is great. He's got very good comedic timing. So even these pun lines, when every single line is a Christmas pun, he drops them. I mean, he nails them every single one, and so it just makes the film all the more enjoyable. It's pretty easy when your whole script is like, make a Christmas pun.
You're like, and that's it.
And
Probably
that's
just like
all
Christmas
JL has to say about that.
It's all.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. So speaking of which, we talked about a couple of Christmas horror films already, such as like Black Christmas and Santa Sleigh and Silent Night, Deadly Night, and some others. I actually want to ask our audience, what is your favorite Christmas horror film? Yeah, there's some decent ones. Santa Sleigh is it's so much fun. The original Black Christmas is really good. Then there's 2 other Black Christmases that exist.
We don't talk about those.
Yeah,
We've already covered that. We talked about them enough already.
I tell you, another one I can strongly recommend: A Christmas Horror Story, which was we talked about it before. It's an anthology. It's 4 films or 4 stories, and it's William Shatner, starring William Shatner. William Shatner is a radio DJ, and his Christmas radio show, is the framing narrative for all 4 films.
'Twas the night before Christmas.
It doesn't get that bad.
Christmas. Start date 42658.
Mandeville would like to say Jingle All the Way is his favorite Christmas horror film.
That was
Pretty fucking terrifying, yeah.
Mine is still The Exorcist.
Jesus.
You're still The Exorcist?
Still The Exorcist.
Exorcist, yeah.
Die Hard for sure.
Boom. Anybody undisputed.
Oh shit!
Die Hard is a
Oh,
fun
shit.
Christmas movie.
Don't start.
We're not getting caught in it. We're not getting caught in it.
It is.
Just
I'll be
start.
watching for Christmas already.
Listen, I just dropped it in there so that it could start a feud, not between us, but between everybody else.
Because that way the chat will go crazy.
We started that feud 2 weeks ago on the plot hole, and it's still going.
Oh God, sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
No, yeah.
Hey, did you guys love my artwork in the back? I love how
Tony's
JL's got his like super awesome room back there. I've got fucking America.
You get the United States. America.
Yes, Jeff Roberts. Gremlins does count as a horror film.
Yeah.
Gremlins
Yes.
is a horror movie, and it is a Christmas movie. It takes place legit at Christmas. Hell, the Christmas tree tried to eat the mom because
Doesn't get more Christmassy than
doesn't get more Christmassy than that. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Treevenge.
Yeah, Tree
Oh,
Venge.
Jesus.
Holy shit. For anybody out there who has not seen Treevenge, dude, can we get a link to Treevenge in the chat? Someone's got to throw that link up there.
That's fantastic. I wish we had
Treevenge is fucking amazing.
I wish we could watch it right now.
Yeah, for idiots, for anybody who's never heard of it, it's like a 10, 15-minute short film. It like says it's just straight on YouTube, and it was made like in the mid 2000s, but it's shot completely 80s style, like 80s slasher style, and it is trees are alive, and they take revenge for being cut down for Christmas.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I remember clicking
There you
on it.
go.
I clicked halfway through the movie, and it was like there was just blood and trees and people, and I was like, "This, I gotta go back." I gotta go back.
There you go. There's Treevenge. It's in the chat.
Definitely check it out. You'll
Yes.
see trees do things with people you never even thought was possible. And then when the tree throws a cat, I will fall out of my chair laughing. Where the mom and the daughter are running, and the tree takes a cat and chunks it.
Man Devil says Gremlins has the greatest Christmas story about a girl's father in the chimney. And that's how I found out that there's no Santa Claus. Damn Skippy, dude. Damn fucking Skippy.
Heartbreak in a movie.
Heartbreak. Hey, NA. Another one of our amazing patrons. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. God, we got a bunch of people in. Man, I'm loving seeing all these people. This is fucking amazing.
You guys are the best. Thanks for listening to us be fucking idiots for an hour and a half.
All right. Definitely. Got some great stuff from the live chat up there. And Johnny, what is our second film, man? It's funny because
The
it's
second
also
film
number
is
two.
one of.
It is.
That's right. It is number two. It is the number two in more ways than one. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, this is number two that I don't mind taking. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Directed by Tony Randell. Starring Claire Higgins, Ashley Lawrence, Kenneth Cranaham, and the one and only Doug Bradley as Pinhead. It's the second in the Hellraiser franchise. This one picks up shortly after Hellraiser originally ends and finds Ashley Lawrence in a mental hospital due to her PTSD from, being chased by demons and shit. Not to mention her Uncle Frank trying to fucking rape her. That's kind of, terrifying.
We recently showed.
Talk about drama.
We recently showed.
Talk about trauma.
We recently showed the original Hellraiser, the first Hellraiser, in the theater just a couple of days ago, and I'd forgotten how long it's been since I've actually sat and watched that film, and I was surprised that I didn't remember things quite the way I thought I did. The shit between Frank and Christy was way more implied than overt. Like he was in the tone of his voice, his body language, stuff like that, but it wasn't extreme, which made it all the worse.
Right.
And just for some reason it was just seeing it almost there was just fucking but man
oof. It was originally supposed to be a lot more overt and in your face, but because of the time, when the movie came out, I think so. I think it worked better this way because they tried to make it. Well, they did make it more overt and in your face in the second one.
Yes. And
it was just not. It didn't play well.
Overall though, I just saw somebody in the comments say it was Mandevil. I actually like Hellraiser 2 slightly better. So I loved this because it played off. The second movie played into the first one. It was like the first one got you warmed up, and then the second one really took off. I got more involved with Hellraiser after this, and then severely disappointed in multiple movies afterwards. But it was like a really good play up, and then the way that the second one played in, it was really well done.
Yeah, because this one it actually builds more on the Cenobites.
It does.
That's what I like about it, because the Cenobites are only in the first film for like 20 minutes.
Right.
Because it's not about them, so you actually kind of get to dive a little bit more into their world. You actually get to see where they come from. You can even get to see what they were like beforehand.
Right.
And I like what they added to the lore.
It wasn't just like, oh, these things are just here they are, okay. Like,
Now,
yeah,
despite
Yeah.
the things that we really dig, unfortunately, lightning did not strike twice, because the first film took audiences by surprise. Nobody was expecting, even from a movie called Hellraiser, with a picture of dude with pins coming out of his head. Nobody was expecting what they got.
Yeah.
The first film was in my personal opinion, was a masterpiece for Clive Barker. Taking what he wrote and bringing it to screen, that was pretty badass. Unfortunately, I think the loss was in the like Johnny was saying. I think the loss was in explaining everything, was expanding the mythos of the creatures that they were, because in the first film they came from someplace we don't know. They come from a physical realm, or they come from somewhere else. They show up, they're controlled by the box can send them away, the box can come in here. There's no negotiating with them. That's pretty much it. Although it was pretty shitty that they were like, well, no, because Pinhead did say maybe. Like, maybe we won't take you. And then they decided to take her anyway. But expanding upon that, saying that this is where they come, and there's this beast called Leviathan, and that this is where they're at, and it's like another dimension. Yeah, we get more like that, but I liked them as a force of nature, as something that simply existed and was there. And and it was related to the box. I like the mystery. And then once they kind of fleshed them out, oh, they used to be people. They were turned into what they became. It's based upon their inner desires or their sins they committed. And I'm kind of like, I dug it and I didn't dig it. Which I can say I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one. But of course, it pretty much went downhill from there, with a few moments in there. This was the beginning of the decline for the franchise.
See, I kind of have to disagree, because I liked the idea that they were people and how they can get trapped. And it was shocking, because, especially when you realize that one of them was like a kid.
right.
The Chatterer, yeah.
Yeah, the Chatterer that when my spoiler killed, he reverts back to the kid. And I don't know, you just kind of gave it made me wonder, like, how did they become that way? How did they get to this point on it? To me, it kind of increased the intrigue more.
It gives you more to think about.
I do like that they got into the why of the Cenobites. I just don't necessarily. Okay, so part of the film was there was it introduced a huge plot hole with the whole in the first one, all you had to do is it's on the bottom of the shirt. Hey, and check it out. Actually, it's kind of funny because there it is, right there. That's me. It's Pinhead. Woohoo!
Yes, the Halloween one.
Shit, there's Johnny.
What's that?
I said, there's Johnny. I just saw you on the.
Yeah, there's I am. Anyway, with the box, originally it was anybody who opens it, that's it. You know what I mean? And then we have the mute character who opens it, and the Cenobites show up and like, nah, nope, this is not the point. Come on, is it whoever opens it, or I just didn't like that. I didn't like that little bit there. I don't see why they couldn't just said, all right, fuck it, we'll take this one too, because she's really good at puzzles.
I like her.
And obviously they don't have. Yeah, I like this one. She could be a cool person to come make a Cenobite.
I just texted somebody who is a big fan of Hellraiser and Pinhead in particular, and she texted back and said, "Pinhead is such a good moral compass."
What the? I guess.
I mean, I guess it depends on your will. Like,
I guess a compass has to point somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that was another thing that also got me. You know what might have been the issue with the reason I still enjoy Hellraiser 2. Like the effects were stronger. Things had come along. They'd gotten more money for this film off of the success of the first one, and I like what they did. I think they spent it wisely. The problem may have been that there was so much cut out of this film. A ridiculous amount of scenes were left on the cutting room floor, and I think I've read, and having read some of them, I actually think that those might have elevated the film even better than the first one.
Yeah, it's a delicate business when in terms of like cutting scenes out. So for people who don't know, when it comes to feature films, if there's a chance you might even use a scene, you film it anyway because it's cheaper to film it and not use it than it is to go back and after your edited stuff and try to pull actors and pull people back together. Because usually once actors are done shooting, they go on to something else.
Yeah.
So to get them to come back and do stuff, it can be really difficult. So they shoot scenes. That's why you always see deleted scenes like all the time for film. But it was a ridiculous amount. Usually you'll get maybe like 4 or 5 deleted scenes or something like that. And
usually you get alternates, like alternate takes, or they have like alternate dialogue.
Yeah, they'll get alternate dialogue, or what they'll do is they'll film an entire scene and then use half of that scene. Yeah. So they just cut it earlier than what they normally would. And it was like a ridiculous amount. And you get to the point where it can kind of start hurting the film because it starts affecting your pacing. And I always revert back to, if you want to think of pacing, Alien vs. Predator, the first one that came out, where they made him cut 30 minutes out of the final cut.
30, like half an hour.
30 minutes, which is, this is final cut 30 minutes. It was 2-hour runtime, and I think it was like Fox or so whoever wanted an hour and a half. So all the stuff like the stuff with the face huggers and all this other kind of stuff were cut out. And Paul Anderson was in an interview. They were like, well, yeah, we see how the face huggers appear, and in the very next scene, the aliens are full grown. Oh, why is that? And he goes, well, I had a whole scene where they grew up, but I had to cut it. Like, he just said that straight, like deadpan in an interview like that. And so when it comes to a lot of films, sometimes studios make you cut stupid amounts of it because they're producer business. They're straight business.
They're just
studios don't know shit about filmmaking. Right, so the same thing can be said about. Well, no, all they know is that they write the check.
Yeah, I mean, this is coming off the fact that there was a legitimate alternate screenplay. There was so much. The original idea was to bring Andrew Robinson back from the first film, to bring her father back, but he declined. He thought the story was done, but that wasn't the original deal. And then of course there was additional stuff with the doctor, with Dr. Shannard. I mean
Shannard.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Shannard. Awkward silence.
Mm-hmm. So we call that a pregnant pause in the industry.
Yes, absolutely.
A pause leading to something.
Exactly.
On it. But yeah, they had so many, because it was like supposed to run into extra doctors, extra nurses.
The rumored surgery scene.
Yeah.
Because there was a shot a shot in the trailer that led to that. So, and then people started saying that where was because none of that scene was in the film itself. And then of course there's supposed to be extra scenes with when Kirsty and Tiffany are running from Channard. Sorry,
it's not our fault you said it wrong.
No, I said it awesome.
Awesomely
Captain
wrong.
Channard.
Hello, I'm the villain of the piece. My name is Channard.
That name just sounds villainous.
Judd Apatow's Hellraiser.
Yes, yeah.
I picture a handlebar mustache. My name is Channard.
I really like that Jessica G gives Jared so much shit. Sorry,
She
Jared
does.
so much shit.
She's beaten me to submission.
I love films with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Hellraiser 3 has all three of those.
Oh
Jail
my god. I honestly don't know how long this is going to go on, but this has become another running gag of the show. Like Eugene messes up names, Alex.
I have no purpose on this show. It's okay.
You do have purpose. You have
Alex appears out of nowhere.
So everyone's gonna, and apparently mine is one. This is one of many. I have many things. I enjoy Hellraiser 3. I do. I enjoy it for one of two reasons. One, Terry Farrell, and two, Terry Farrell. Because
That's
Terry
two
Farrell,
reasons I'm saying.
because Terry Farrell is Jadzia Dax, and Jadzia Dax is fucking hot. And I like seeing Terry Farrell kick ass. I will not be made to feel bad about this.
Say it with pride.
Goddamn, we're gonna try. Yes.
But yes,
Hellraiser.
Anyway, Hellraiser.
I was just saying that, but there is an actual. I think if you can find it online, there is kind of a restored version because the scene, the surgery scene that was in question, like the doctor scene when Pinhead and the female Cenobite, the one with their throat open and shit, were dressed as doctors, and that scene was actually discovered in where was that scene? That was on a VHS work print, and was announced as an extra for Arrow Video's Blu-ray release of the first 3 films. It was a collection of it, so you can see the cool stuff that we're talking about, which got discovered, put in as additional features on the Blu-ray release of these films. But obviously, studio involvement fucked this film up, and probably is why Clive Barker had such a bad taste in his mouth for dealing with any kind of production after this film.
He thought that was going to be the worst at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
There were still fucking 6 more films to come out to completely disappoint you.
I wouldn't even want to talk to the poor man. After the first film is like, so, what are your thoughts on Hellraiser 9?
Did you hear what he said about it?
The man
Did you hear? Let me find his quote.
Oh, he had a
hang
quote.
on. Let me get you his,
okay.
He had a quote. What was it called? What was that last one called?
Hellraiser
Not the last one, the reboot. No, the one right before that.
It's like
Revelations.
Yeah.
Let me find. Let's see here.
As though 8 films in, there was still stuff that we could reveal.
Let's see. Hang on. There's his quote. Golly, I gotta find it. Where is it?
While he's looking at that,
30 minutes.
Okay, here we go.
of the show
Here it is.
people-
Here it is.
Okay.
You ready?
Cool, yeah.
I found it. Okay, this is his quote. This is Clive Barker. Hello, my friends. I want to put out on record that the flick out there using the word Hellraiser, and this part comes in caps, is no fucking child of mine. I have nothing to do with the fucking thing. If they claim it's from the mind of Clive Barker, it's a lie. It's not even from my butthole. So, I wonder how he feels. Wonder how he feels about those last 2 films. It's not even from his butthole.
That's brutal. That's fucking brutal. I'm so glad that he's in charge. He's got the rights back to Hellraiser. He's got the rights back, and he's bringing it to HBO. And we are going to be getting a Hellraiser series with HBO money, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
So
I just hope they don't. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I hope they don't bring back Doug Bradley and Pinhead. I hope they just don't bring Pinhead back at all.
You think? Well, I mean, if they're kicking it off, they've got to have him in it.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
Well,
he's too much part of like the logo. And
yeah. Well, even if they go into like the mythology, like the religion behind it, like the Order of the Gash. When they go into that, he was the head priest of that order that serves as kind of like the religious sect underneath Leviathan.
No, he wasn't. If you read the original, if you read the source material,
well, he was called Hell
he
Priest.
was not. He was not. The Hell Priest was the Hell Priestess.
Oh, you just got fucking schooled, boy.
No, I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure in the first film he was credited as Hell Priest.
No. I'm not talking about the first film. I'm talking about going to the Hellbound Heart. I'm talking about going to source material. The original lead Cenobite was a woman.
There's that fucking silence.
There's that pregnant pause again. JL hates it when I teach him things.
Oh, I think it's awesome.
JL's in research mode right now.
Hang on a sec. 2 seconds. Name that movie. All 3 of you.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? What?
I had so many jokes where I could go with just 2 seconds. But...
I said,
Yeah, right.
Shaun of the Dead. Come on.
He's just trying to
The remarkable boss, Cinebite to say Kirsty.
You're gonna start losing viewers soon.
Yep.
No.
Actually,
okay.
if you want to get specific, the head priestess was genderless, but the physical description made it appear to be more feminine than masculine.
The leader of the Cenobites are being called the Engineer.
You said it was the priest.
The leader of the Cenobites. I knew that was wrong. The leader of the Cenobites was the Engineer. There was a female one, but Pinhead, the one with the pin, the one with the, they didn't even call them pins. They were like spikes. They were like that, driven into his skull, like in that grid pattern. And he was referred to as Hell Priest. That's what he was in the first film, or in the Hellbound part in the book. He was the Hell Priest. And that's why his outfit is adorned the way it is, very much like vestments, like a bastardization of holy vestments. That's the point. So no, the leader of the Cenobites, the one that shows up at the end in the book, the one that appears and is trying to drag Kirsty away. Kirsty is the one that's trying to drag Kirsty away. It was, and she uses the box on that. She appears and she shows up to take Julie away, and then runs into Kirsty, and then that was the trade-off, because the Engineer came and took Julia away after they took Frank.
Sometimes I believe that Johnny just likes to round you up.
So put that in your
it's really fun.
Okay. What's up, Eugene?
It's really fun to do.
Hey,
It's really fun.
Hey Alex. Glad to have you back.
So, anywho,
It's fun to do. It's fun to get him,
What?
just watch him get all worked up.
what?
I'm sweating now.
Well, sometimes whatever.
Whatever.
One jail. Fuck that. That's like
What?
1,000 jail.
Whatever.
Oh,
Whatever.
don't be a sore loser.
What's more? Let's see. Pinhead. I'm not a sore loser. Pinhead was not the leader of the Order of the Gash, by the way.
Anywho.
See what? Pinhead wasn't the leader of the Order of the Gash.
This is,
I'm not-
we're skipping the
we have
next
a
two
show to-
movies.
we have
We
a
are
show
just
to-
going straight
we have
into
a show
this.
to-
Let's do it.
We have a show to do.
Hey,
It's your go, Johnny.
Speaking of jail
favorite
being
Cenobite
wrong, what's
was
your?
PG Tony, because PG Tony, this is funny because Weekend Horror sounds just as fired up as when he was proposing his Flurf final solution.
Oh,
You just
jeez.
got flirted, bro.
Oh no! This is a throwback to early conversation about spreading disinformation.
I'm going to read you a passage. I'm going to read you a passage from the Hellbound
Oh
Heart.
my
by the way.
god! Where's my
Speaking
copy?
of-
I don't have my I don't have my library of shit in here. I haven't moved it into the room yet.
Speaking, this is okay. You ready for this?
Oh god!
Its voice, unlike that of its companion, was light and breathy, the voice of an excited girl. Every inch of its head had been tattooed with an intricate grid at every intersection, horizontal and vertical axis, is a jeweled pin driven through the bone. Its
Jeweled
tongue
pin,
was
that was it,
similarly
yeah, okay.
decorated. Yeah.
They were jeweled. That's right.
So what
Jewel
happened
pin,
is
yeah.
the motherfucker had some fucking drip. Now move on.
No, I'm sorry. The breath like he was giddy because the depiction of Pinhead in the book is far different than the one that Doug Bradley gave us in the film.
Right. Yeah. Again, because in all seriousness, the Cenobites in the book were never really gendered.
No.
They weren't. There was no real point to them being any gender at all. It didn't matter. They were just ghouls or the Order of the Gash. Really, it didn't matter. I just like riling you up there, JL.
It's also your CTA.
It's working.
Oh, that's true. Speaking of Cenobites, who is your?
And this
Let
is
us
why
know
Johnny O
let
is
us-
on the show.
This is,
Yep,
this is what
because
people came here to watch.
Yeah.
we just jamming in transitions. Who is your favorite Cenobite? Let us know in the old side chat comments down below or at weekendhorror@gmail.com.
Ouch, Jessica G. I'm the American Ed Freeze.
Oof.
Damn.
Wow.
Ow.
Hey, here's one for you.
Wow.
PhD Tony left a question. We could argue about that. So let me get this straight. Escape from LA would have been a good film if it had enough hot actresses in it. I'm
Yes.
sorry, if it had a hot enough actress in it. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And if it had a better script.
You know, and it was.
No,
you know,
I
But he's not an
don't think-
actress.
different people.
I don't think anything could have saved Escape from LA. I don't think anything could have saved that film.
No, it was bad.
Yes, PhD Tony, Holy Dooley. Holy Dooley. Yeah, he wrote Holy Dooley. He's old.
He did.
And Jessica G, laying down the heavy artillery. Yes, she is. But
Shots
that's
fired.
what Jessica G is the drill sergeant firing over our heads while we're crawling through
Yep.
the muck, trying to entertain her, and she's keeping the fire just a couple of inches above.
But she's not firing over our heads. She's aiming directly at us.
She's shooting right at your balls.
Dark Steve with Dark
She's
Steve.
trying to
just-
take your manhood off.
Dark Steve says his favorite Cenobite was Butterball. Was the big
That's cool.
was the big gross one.
I
Yeah.
forgot about Barbie too. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Whole like throat open and everything. Yeah.
Bruce Campbell as an insane plastic surgeon couldn't even save it. That is the goddamn truth.
Yeah.
That is the damn truth.
Although now I want to see that.
Oh man. Well,
All
our
right.
next film.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Mhm.
Get the fuck out of that sandpit.
Moving on, our next film released December 24th, 1896. I've been looking forward to talking about this one for a while now. The very first horror film ever made, The House of the Devil. It was a French horror film. I believe I'm gonna try this and embarrass myself. La Manoir du Diable. I think I
Damn,
got
that's
that.
pretty good. Yeah.
It's in
The accent helps.
In 1896, French short silent film. And for anybody who would like to see this, the film is only 3 minutes and 18 seconds long. It is currently in the trailers and recommendations channel. I just put the whole thing up there so you can watch it, so you can check it out, because it actually is pretty cool for 1896. It's pretty goddamn impressive.
Starts out with
the
a
oldest
fucking
one we've
bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So directed by George Millet, produced also by George Millet, starring Jehan d'Alcy and Jules Eugene Lery. This film was obviously a Christmas Eve release, which is pretty wild considering being the first horror film. But man, the plot is very, very. It's only a 3-minute film. So the plot centers around a man who has entered into a mansion of basically kind of supernatural events, and it's a kind of dance macabre with different kinds of like with a man turning into a bat, back into a man, into a skeleton, with people appearing and disappearing, and witchcraft and all kinds of crazy shit. The stuff that would drive the church nuts in the late 1800s. All great stuff coming out of France. Just looking at it from a technical perspective, from the technical expertise that went into this, because it was France. It was filmmakers in France that really led the way, that pioneered filmmaking at the very, very start. It started kind of in France, moved through Germany. That's where we get films like Nosferatu, and then jumped the pond and came over here to America. But it was really the French thing that kicked off the whole trick photography thing, which is what we got, which I think was one of the coolest things about this film, was the stuff they were able to do in the first horror film.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring it up. That starts off in France and then Germany. So when films first started, the big places, there was no Hollywood at the time. So big places to go was France, and then became Germany. And Germany was actually, before World War II, before World War I, was leading the world in film. And
Yep.
people actually went to the United States as a downgrade on it. Just like European soccer players come here to play MLS. That was the way it was. Like, oh, you went to American, blah blah blah. Or started American. That's exactly like how it was in the 19 teens and 20s. And
it's still like that. What are you talking about?
Well, we do have to say that shot of the train, the Great Train Robbery, the shot that they did where the train was coming at the screen.
Oh, it scared the shit out of people.
That scared the shit out of audiences because nobody had ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, also that scene with the Great Train Robbery where he's shooting at the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but going back to the first film. So you talk about the first films of around 1888, which was just people standing out like in a park. I mean, like it's like people standing out in a park. It's like 15 seconds long, and all of a sudden people started kind of playing with it. What was really interesting with really early film is that there were no rules established. Like we have set shots that you do, editing, pacing, and all sorts of kind of stuff. It's just natural now, and when it doesn't work, we see that. But back then, there wasn't any of that. People legit didn't know. Somebody had the idea of a close-up, and that was revolutionary. We're talking about like Birth of a Nation, a close-up of it.
You're gonna get close?
You gotta think about that. What if I took the camera and got really close to their faces to really show their emotions? What if I did that? Can I do that? Is this something people do? So when you look at this film, and this film primarily looks at it's like one set on it, lit completely by daylight, because there weren't film lights at the time at all. So you would build sets with no roof, shoot on top of a roof, on the actual building roof. So you just use sunlight to come in, and it's awesome because there's so much like special effects in it. You got like a pot pops up and it starts off with a bat flying around, and you got like a midget that runs around, and a guy comes. It's awesome. It's really to be honest, for 1896, the cuts in this were actually pretty damn good. They're not. They
were. I mean,
Go ahead.
No. Yeah, I was going to agree with you that they're. I mean, they're painfully obvious by today's standards, but even looking at them, it's not. It did not make sense. If that makes sense, they were seamless. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about the opening scene with the bat coming in, right? The whole bat thing, and then it turns into a human. That was damn near. That was seamless. That was probably more seamless than any of the film has ever been. I mean, it was just like boom. It was done well.
Yes. Very, very clean. Very, very clean trick photography there. The guy turning
that's the word I was looking for.
The guy turning into the skeleton back into the bat, and then you had like with the devil's there, and the devil like summons up the cauldron, and the people come out of the cauldron, and then the ghosts. Well, I'm not really sure. Maybe they were cultists. I'm not 100% sure. Or there's the cultist. Then the cultist summons up the little midget demon thing that chases after it. It's such great stuff.
Called a dwarf.
I wasn't sure because the way the individual was dressed, I couldn't tell if it was an actual short person, if it was an actual like midget or a dwarf, or if it was somebody who was just because this is France, and one of the biggest
you know what who'd be an excellent judge of that, Mr. T.
In France,
did you not know that's how he got his start?
What?
You didn't know that? Mr. T got noticed because he was the best at the midget toss.
Oh wow!
That is that's no bullshit. That is no bullshit. He was a bouncer at some bar, and there was like the bar bouncer games or some shit. So a contest, and he could throw the midget the farthest.
Damn.
Nice.
Well, being that France.
I pity the fool.
Being that France was one of the countries that led the basically the art of movement, pretty much stems out of France. And given that, I couldn't tell because a lot of them were they had mime training, they had clown training, or just with that, I didn't know if it was a person who was trained in that who could move in such a way in order to appear smaller, or if it was a legitimate.
Sure. I was just giving you a hard time, JL.
You do that a lot, man.
He does do it a lot.
Yeah, I do. If it wasn't for me, I mean, come on.
Well, if it wasn't for me,
none of you guys had the fucking. None of you, Eugenes or Alexes had the stones to do it.
If it wasn't for Johnny, my head would.
I'm here to have a good time. That's it.
Listen. I worked with JL for long enough to know when to pick a fight. When not to.
I pick a fight with everybody. I'm sorry, JL. I'm sorry. I derailed you.
No, it's all good. It keeps me honest. Like I said, if you weren't there, my head would probably be bigger than this fucking camera could take in. I have to sit way back there in the back, like. But yes, I was profoundly impressed with the work they were able to do, and somebody I think it was Mandevil actually explained like that. One of them, because we mentioned the train shot when the train was coming at the camera.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things, they filmed the train with an angled mirror, so that the train actually ran over the mirror, and they were filmed that the camera was pointed at the mirror. So that, and then
right.
There were no way they were going to risk a film camera back then. Film cameras were way too expensive.
yeah. The film camera is what they were worried about.
I pity the midget.
And that's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth. They didn't give a shit about the actual guy operating the camera. These were replaceable.
Totally.
There was a film that was made as like 1918 or something like that, and it had a huge scene where it was like a huge flooding scene that happened. And so they had all the extras, there's like 100 extras and all this, several cameras set up. And so they flood the stage, it's supposed to be this huge disaster or anything. Well, like 7 people drowned.
God.
At that moment.
That's not funny. I don't know why.
And the director was like, yeah, that's good, we'll keep it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, whatchamacallit, Twilight Zone.
No, the helicopter.
Yeah, the infamous Vietnam scene. Yeah, that was not good.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, going back to this film, the fact that this is the first all horror films stem from this, and the ingenuity, because we build and we research on what other people have done. Things like, such mirror. People use mirrors in films all the time. A lot of times when you see somebody looking at a mirror, or if you see a shot of somebody standing at a kitchen sink and it's like straight on, usually houses, you don't have that distance, so you see a mirror. So it's stuff we use like all the time, but somebody had to come up with that. And when you get this camera, that's a hand cranked camera, because films weren't 24 frames per second back then. You're lucky you've got 12. And we're just like, well, maybe we should try this. If I don't move the camera and the actor stays kind of still, and I can slide this in real quick and cut out in between what looked like it appears, and then we'll throw some smoke in there to kind of hide the edit. Let's see what that would do. It's genius.
Yeah, there was a lot of innovation that was going on at that time, because everything was new. There was no, this is how we do it. Everything was learn on the fly, which is amazing.
I mean, everything. And so if people are ever interested in the history of film, look at a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, from how they use perspective and how they build things at certain angles and to achieve effects.
Right.
It's incredible. And like even the simplest things too. And then you're like, wow, like they went through a lot just to get that 5-second shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing what gets me, you compare this to obviously the first horror film, House of the Devil, and then the next silent horror film, the German film, F.W. Murnau, Nosferatu, which obviously we talked extensively about being a ripoff of Dracula, but look at the effects that they had in that film as well, especially when Count Orlok at the very, very end, Count Orlok is struck by the sunlight, and when he dies. So that effect. I mean, that was only 2 years. That was 2 years after this film came out.
No, because Nosferatu came out like in 1921.
It was 1921.
Yeah, like 20 years.
I may be thinking something else, but yeah, so it was like 20 years after that, and that was from just cut images, and the how to describe it. Eugene, you're a little bit better at describing the technique of what they pulled off in House of the Devil to the dissolve effects they utilized in Nosferatu.
Oh, we're talking about with they would layer films. If I'm picturing it correctly, that they would layer the film together to get that soft dissolve.
Yes, that was which what they did in 1921.
Yeah, you would literally film it like twice, and then actually put the film stock on top of each other to get like that dissolve effect on it.
So freaking cool. Now the question is, this is the first horror film, House of the Devil. When did the first? Because people are like, oh, there's no rules, we can do anything. Let's put porn. Let's make porn. Let's put people fucking on screen. And I'm kind of curious as to how long it took from that one to get from there to porn. I'm kind of curious how long it took.
Oh, almost instantaneously, I can tell you that.
Yeah. weren't there snuff films? Well, hang on a second. Weren't there snuff films before there were horror films?
You punched that into your computer, man.
Yeah, I don't.
You think I'm scared?
I don't need that kind of flag on my record.
It's called incognito.
Yeah. But very, very cool stuff. So the one thing I really, really dig is the things that you can learn from early film, from stuff in the late 1800s, the early 1900s, things out of England, out of France, out of Germany, and even out of America, especially the West, especially depictions of the West, depictions of what was going on further west in the kind of like the untamed wilds as America was building itself. Really, really cool stuff. Really, really liked it. And the stuff that you can pull away from it, you kind of learn the foundations of where all of these films, especially our favorite genre, the horror film, the horror genre, how when you watch this, when you watch House of the Devil, if you pop over there and watch that in the Trailers Recommendations channel, you can see kind of the little pieces the little seeds that grew into what we know as horror today. Very, very cool stuff. So I'm really curious. I don't know how many people we have in the chat who really dig old school, like old horror as much as I do. The stuff that is, like royalty free now. But if you have a favorite, anybody in the audience, if you have a favorite silent horror film, I'd love to hear. We'd love to hear what it is. Devin, let us know in the comments. Hit us up in the live chat or shoot us an email, weekendhorror@gmail.com. What is your favorite silent horror film from that era? Love to hear.
The Call of Cthulhu.
Phantom of the Opera.
Ooh, Phantom of the Opera.
I was going to say probably either Nosferatu or Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is my favorite because it was so fucking psychedelic.
Yeah, it's so trippy.
Such a trippy fucking movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I took one for the team here, and I've got some important facts.
Huh.
The first porn movie ever made was the same year, 1896.
I told you.
Wait. House of the Devil was a Christmas Eve movie. When was the first porn made?
I'm trying to find the exact day, but it's not giving it.
I'm thinking the odds are that porn predates.
The odds are.
I was going to say it probably.
Yeah.
The first porn movie was made in 1896. It was 7 minutes long and showed a woman undressing, facing away from the camera while she was bathed, then getting wrapped up in towel again.
Hey, that was risque for 1896.
Within 14 years. Within 14 years, films were as hardcore as they are today.
See,
amazing.
That does not surprise me one bit.
And you know what it was? It literally was a succession of like 10 or 11 films. It showed this. Let's do this. Hard. 10 films later, hardcore. It's all the same.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that's how it went.
It takes that one person.
10 films later.
The Luminar brothers and Thomas Edison and all, they're like, yeah, we can capture these things. And someone's like, can you capture anything? Anything?
So,
hang on a second. Wait a minute.
First film, 1906. Nothing original ever, and nothing original after 1906. It was all pretty much the same.
I don't know. You think they had 2 girls, 1 cup back then?
Well, see, a girl taking off a robe in 1896 is the equivalent of 2 girls, 1 cup back then.
This is true.
What?
Her fucking ankles, man! Holy shit!
Queen Victoria was still alive at that time. So Victorian era.
No, I understand. But
Dude.
What the fuck did you just say? It is not the same thing. Scat is a whole nother level.
Oh God, this is a different podcast. No, we can't go this route. But yes, Man Devil does make it. Man Devil makes a good point. Porn always leads the industry. It's why VHS won out over beta. The porn industry preferred VHS. Yep, they will. It always will.
And when you go to YouTube and you go over a thumbnail and it plays a little bit of it, you're welcome.
Oh, Johnny, you actually beat Jeff. You beat Jeff Roberts to that. Jeff Roberts says, no way they were hardcore. I don't believe there was an 1896 Two Girls, One Cup. And damn it, Johnny, you beat me to it.
Yep. I don't think that's a thing. It's possible. You know, I've seen some really weird documentaries on HBO's Real Sex talking about shit like that, so it's possible. Maybe I don't want to know.
And Devil, the Call of Cthulhu silent film, yes, not a period silent horror, but it's still a silent film. It's really, really good. The way they shot that felt very period. I enjoyed that original silent movie. I thought it was done very well. Use of light and shadow in that in order to pick something that, you know, they obviously don't have the money to do, but really, really good stuff. I really enjoyed that. It was one of my
Dark
favorites.
Steve says next. He says next again.
Move on.
Wait,
Sorry, Dark Steve.
Is he kicking us to the? Is he? Oh shit, Dark Steve. Move along.
Yeah, he's cracking the whip. He's cracking the whip.
He's going to get hired to do visual
Damn.
cues.
Okay, Dark Steve says we move on, so we're moving on. Eugene. Oh no, sorry, Alex.
No, Alex.
You're hopping in. You've got
No,
our last
my
one.
turn.
Take us home before Dark Steve gets pissed.
All right, so this one came out December 25th, 2005. This is Wolf Creek.
Oh, come on, dude.
I didn't want to lose Dark Steve, man.
Dark Steve got places to fucking be.
He's ready to win the book. He's like, I want the book.
This is the difference doing it live. Now we are at the whim of our audience.
They're like,
Yep.
come on. All right, anyways, December 25th, 2005, we've got Wolf Creek, directed by Greg McLean, written by Greg McLean, starring John Jarrett, Cassandra Magrath, Kesty Morassi, Nathan Phillips, and Andy McPhee. I didn't write that one down, but he's in there. This movie is like your typical American slasher, except it's some packbackers.
Packbackers.
Packbackers, yeah, packbackers. Yep.
Some knapsackers get stranded out in the outback and are left to face a psychotic Crocodile Dundee. Which is just
yeah, that's it.
It's fucking great. But yeah, no, this is a Australian movie, and I loved watching this. I remember when we first talked about it, JL, and I went and watched it, and just the accents alone make it through this movie. It's great. But yes, psychopathic Crocodile Dundee. What are you doing? Are you looking up the first porn, JL? Jesus Christ!
No, I'm talking in the fucking live chat. Fucking
Sure. Live chat.
1918.
Yeah, so it's like a running joke. Anybody who knows anything about, even the littlest bit about Australia, it's a running joke that everything in Australia is trying to kill you.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not really a joke, man.
It's not a joke. It's the truth. Everything is literally trying to kill you.
Oh man, I always wanted to go to Australia growing up, and then you start seeing like now YouTube comes out when I'm an adult, and it's like you can watch shit that goes down over there. It's like maybe I just want to watch it on YouTube. I think I'm good here.
From a safe distance.
Yeah.
Oh, Tina Jones.
Yeah.
Tina Jones would like to warn us. We're all going to get crazy recommended sites from Google.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you're into vintage, huh?
Vintage.
Oh,
Vintage.
man.
Australian horror porn. No.
No, Kangaroo, stop! I don't want to see that.
We're either gonna get like ads for Antique Roadshow or some weird shit.
Man Devil would like to say, yes, I love how the killer is so friendly and charming at the start and then doesn't change demeanor even after he starts killing everyone. And that is the truth.
He is who he is.
One thing that the PhD Tony brought up one time is that, yes, Jeff Jarrett was an old host on a show called Play School. And he was kind of I wouldn't say he was a sex symbol, but he was very popular with the ladies until this movie came out. Which altered the depiction of him because, yeah, it turned him from, kind of like the lovable Aussie guy into the psychopathic Crocodile Dundee. fucking insane. And one thing, although Wolf Creek does hold a special place because it's one of the times when the bad guy wins. Because sometimes the bad guy wins. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Wolf Creek, Joyride.
Last Action Hero.
But sometimes the bad guys can win. But yeah, it doesn't start off that way, and you don't get the sensation of it. But this film goes down to a brutal hole, hard fucking core. I put it up on the theater a couple days ago, and realized there was one thing that really pissed me off in this movie, and I didn't recall until I watched it again. Because the lead girl, the girl who first gets away, Liz, Cassandra Magrath, when Liz basically shows that she's got the smarts, so she's constantly trying to outsmart Mick and get ahead of him, and she eventually does. She's got him out there running around in the bush. She hauls ass, gets back to the compound, is running through looking for whatever she can, finds a fucking gun. A 357, no doubt, no less.
Yes.
Loads that fucker up. And then probably because she sees a bunch of dead bodies, she loses it. That really pissed me off. That annoyed me.
You're going to be loading up a fucking gun like that. You better be ready for some dead fucking bodies.
Right. Because that's the one thing that got me is that, okay, she's got the gun. That's fantastic. But then she's looking for their other friend because there were three of them. She's looking for Ben. And in trying to find him, she ends up, she thinks he's got him somewhere because she doesn't know the area. And she trips and she drops the gun down into it looked like an old water cooler. The place is built, the mixed compound is built out of an old mining facility. And so it falls down in this shaft. She's like, damn it. So she gets on the ladder, she climbs down the ladder, but she slips and she falls. She's like, she's not hurt. But she dropped the gun down there. Then she looks around. Oh, there's bodies. This is where he dumps all the bodies. And she starts screaming and she runs away and leaves a fully loaded 357 down there in that thing. I understand that she couldn't handle the hunting rifle at the very beginning. Right. I understand that. She could have handled that gun. That would have been a different fucking story.
It's like if you've never seen dead bodies before, or dead bodies that have basically grotesque, mutilated, decomposed for a while. If you've never seen that before, that could really freak you out. Like to me, like that was believable.
She left the gun.
I mean, you're not thinking straight at that point.
Yeah, but it's a lot of dead bodies, JL.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's a lot of dead bodies. I'm getting so. Oh God, you had Man Devil the head on the stick. That was fucked up.
Oh yeah.
That's fucked up. But yeah, I mean, there's something to the notion, and that's why Wolf Creek has gotten a sequel, and it's gotten 2 TV series, got 2 seasons. I don't know if they're going to do a third one. I think they were planning to. Jarrett was always up to play Mick as long as he can. He loves the character. The problem was, I think the pandemic hit, and they just weren't able to continue production or whatever. But I didn't get all the details. Hopefully, we will get a third season. Because the TV series, those are actually pretty fucking good. They're solidly made, and of course Jeff Jarrett loves playing that role. Or John, I keep calling Jeff John Jarrett. John Jarrett loves that role. He loves playing Mick, and sometimes you have, I guess, it kind of theme comes in you when the bad guy wins.
The fuck was that?
I don't know. I'm not looking at the screen. I think Alex is now.
I tried to silence his sneeze. It didn't work out.
Like over. Like
I look away for a second. All I hear.
Over 70 shows with this guy. I know this guy's noises.
Oh man, I think I threw up my back.
You ever have a fart? You ever have a fart that you feel in your spine? I've had a couple of those.
Don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
Nope.
Hey, you want to know the best piece of advice I ever heard from an old man?
Uh-oh.
Relationships are like farts. If you got to push, it's probably shit.
That's actually quite good.
That's so true.
Let's see, PhD Man Devil says, PhD Tony, I'm flashing back now to falling in the hole on top of the dead greyhounds. In what did PhD Tony say? I missed something.
Was that like a real story that you fall
I
on a
have
bunch
no
of
fucking clue. There's something in
Like,
Did you hear about Peach? Did you hear about the copperhead snake under the Christmas tree today in Tasmania?
Yeah.
There's
Yo,
some sort of
Merry fucking Christmas.
Merry fucking Christmas.
That's a snake.
I would like some of whatever you are smoking.
So, Dark Steve, yes, the TV series was good, and Jessica G, I think she was in a state of shock. She remembers watching Terminator 2 and always wondering why John Connor, are you just sitting there watching him drive at you off a fucking bridge? Yeah, with the truck coming. Why would he just sit there on the bike and watch it happen?
People freeze
Plot
when
device.
it comes to it's fight or flight. Like people freeze.
Yeah, people do. If you just go on YouTube and you can watch like near-death experiences or something like that, and people freeze up. That moment of truth, or you'll see people and that car speeding towards them, and they just stand there. And it's like the movie Snatch, where they're like, you think you would do something special, but instead you just make a stupid face and stand there.
And Jessica G says, she did not realize she didn't understand it. She wondered why he did that until she experienced shock firsthand, and she could not focus nor move properly.
It just blacks out, dude. It's like, I'm like one of the most. I'm like, I wouldn't say paranoid, but like when I'm anxious. So like when stuff starts going wrong, I'm like constantly moving around looking for an out. Like I'm usually focused on stuff. I've been in a couple of situations though where it was like near-death experience where you just freeze. You just completely freeze up. Everything goes black. Like you have no idea what's going on, and then you come out of it, and it's just shock is heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's like I know Eugene, you were in the military. I got some military buddies that are like, there'll be times when they get into combat and stuff just kind of, it's like they just black out and then come to afterwards, and they're like, "What happened?" And I have a buddy who went through an experience that he saved his entire platoon, and he doesn't remember any of it. It was just it's all to the will of whatever your brain wants to do.
Yeah, because even in the military, that's why we train so much. You're trained over again. So when shit hits the fan or something like that, you go to autopilot.
Just kicks
like
in.
you're not even thinking at that point. You just go on memory.
Oh, holy shit! So Mandevil has explained it. He was playing.
Yeah,
with friends
that's we could leave it. We could leave that off of the podcast.
I shouldn't read that.
I wouldn't.
Well,
it'll be in the live chat replay. It'll be in the live chat replay for everybody who's curious.
Mandevil, we did read it. It's in the live chat. I guess.
Yeah. Not because I'm being insensitive towards Mandevil. It's just that's a really fucked up situation, and yeah.
This is
like how Johnny jumps in with the fucking.
I'll side with Johnny on this one. It is a fucking horror show, though. I'm just saying.
It is a horror show, but we're talking about movies, not real life.
So back to Wolf Creek. Yeah.
So yes, the one thing I was gonna ask Johnny. What is it about the bad guy winning that makes it?
You know what? Because it's probably more close to real life, right? So when you think about all the assholes who get ahead. Look at Mitch McConnell. You think that guy's a fucking good guy in the horror film? Hell no. Hell no. So the bad guys often win.
That's a pretty specific call out, man.
Yeah.
It is a pretty specific call out, but he's the one that was just right there.
Assholes like that are act 2 kills.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a long act 1.
Yeah.
4 years of act 1.
I feel like we branched off into a couple different podcasts today.
Yeah.
Okay, well, think about it, right? So think about the, how long did it take, for instance, Ted Bundy? How long did it take Ted Bundy to finally, meet his demise?
Yeah.
A long fucking time.
You know what I mean? So, long fucking time.
And then, of course, real life sometimes... like the Moonlight Murders of Texarkana, Jack the Ripper, the Zodiac Killer, individuals like that, like BTK before he was a dumbass and got himself caught. The time when he just vanished for like 20-something years. So, yeah,
never caught him. Never like the Zodiac. Zodiac, he's got away with it.
Yo, did you see they just decoded the 406?
Yeah, I was so excited about it. So the FBI is still looking into it. Odds are they probably won't find it. The guys, he knew what he was doing. Too much time has passed, so he could be dead already.
See,
He's either dead but natural causes or forget about
Darcy
it.
says John Jarrett just rocks at being evil. One thing is seriously cool about him is that laugh is that he invented that laugh specifically for the character, that whatever that was really more Sling Blade, but that whole like kind of like chuckle to himself, he made that, and he would always do it to the girls to freak them out when they least expected it. So he would try to sneak up on him and do that laugh like right behind their ear to get them riled up before scenes. But yeah, apparently in real life that was really fucking creepy. Not just in the films. Like he'd stand there staring at you and then just start laughing like that. Like he knew something was going on that you didn't. Just fucking crazy. It's creepy. Yeah, and it's wild how easily he took to the role. Given his his kind of acting background, but it made it all the better because the dude was.
Which
really
means he's
terrifying.
probably the safest person in the entire world.
When it's like when he mentioned that his demeanor doesn't change throughout the entire film, which is what makes it even more terrifying because he's as friendly when he's helping them with their car. When he's basically setting him up, like, hey, I could drive you to here, I could fix your car and get you on, all's good. Then they're sitting around. He's friendly throughout that whole encounter until they've been drugged. Then they wake up, they're all tied up, and everything's fucked up. When he's explaining to her the head on the stick thing, it's not done in a like sadistically evil fashion. He's literally giving her a history lesson.
Yeah,
this is what they used to do, and now I'm going to do it to you.
And now I'll paint your silver pants blue.
Oh my, what are you to do?
Exactly.
Family.
Yeah, he was very matter of fact. I didn't get to finish watching the film. Like I said, I started watching it at work today. I mean, not at work, but a place like work. I was on lunch. But yeah, my boss doesn't watch this.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yes,
no, but it was how matter of fact and meticulous he was with like his explanations and whatnot.
Yep.
Didn't seem to be evil, but he was just really calm.
He was calm.
It's like he's just a pure psychopath. He believes that what he's doing is right. And
Yep.
Fucking crazy. And one thing that always that struck me, not just the acting was decent, the writing was solid. John Jarrett was absolutely made this movie top notch. I love what he does with the character. He's just, you could tell he's having fun. He fucking loves it, and just the crazy. And of course, in the sequel, it just goes even further and goes even more hardcore. The shit that he does, the guy that he tortures in the second film, is just absolutely bonkers. But one thing I thought was from a filmmaker's perspective is that this was not a large budget film. And the things that they did, because the general ideology going into this movie was to make a $1 million film look like a $5 million film. Because a $5 million film will have better odds at selling than a $1 million film. And they did that. I think this was the first film shot in full digital high def.
Was it?
Was it?
I'm pretty sure that was in the production notes.
I figured it'd be around that same time period.
Yeah, it had the film was shot entirely in digital on the HD cam format, and was predominantly handheld, aside from a few static composite shots. But yes, the first full first fully shot in HD movie.
That's cool.
So, I mean, that's really cool because digital cameras been around for a while.
We can see where the majority of their budget went, obviously, because the budget on this film was actually after total cost was $1.4 million, and shot in 5 weeks, a little over a month.
Quick pace, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is in essence. This is pretty much how an indie film shoots. Is that you've got your budget, you go up there, you put foot to metal, and you get it done as fast as you possibly can. I know that there were a couple of things that held them back. There's a rainstorm in an area that hadn't seen rain in 6 years that all of a sudden showed up while they were shooting, so that delayed them by 3 days.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and I know that there is a Wolf Creek crater which is where the tourists, where the backpackers are going. But they didn't actually shoot at the crater. That when they got stock footage of the crater, and then when they showed them kind of sitting on the kind of like the edge, kind of like enjoying the view, they were on just some hillside somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere else cheating.
Yeah,
basically.
They just cheated it out. So. These are the things that you do as a filmmaker: is that you try to find ways to cheat the image, to make it appear a certain way, and then you can, because when you're visually storytelling, you can, as long as you sandwich your kind of shots with with the defining shots, then your middle shot doesn't technically have to be on location. You can play it anywhere you want. The side of the house could just be like a bunch of wood. You don't necessarily have to shoot on location like that. So you try to make the best you can. And one thing that I think that really helped him was obviously Australia itself. The Outback is itself a character. The scariness of it, the desolation, and the fact that you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, you have no idea how far you are from anything. That's also scary.
It's like New Mexico with a bunch of shit that could kill you if it bit you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's really interesting because right off the bat, so you get an awesome location as the Outback. You have a minimal cast, and you can explain the minimal cast because you're in the middle of nowhere. And then you're shooting all digital because the thing is, film is fucking expensive to shoot on. It's expensive. Mm-hmm. Every take costs money, and then you got to get it processed, and then you got to get it digitized afterwards. Whereas with a digital camera, it's just like shooting something on your cell phone. You shoot it and then you color it. So you save a lot of money off of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's Australia's.
We
got a real horror show going on right now. There's like creepy voices in the background.
I know. So, but yeah, that's awesome that they're able to actually save money and make it work.
Hell yeah. And that's a tough trick, especially, we all have our stories that we can, PhD Tony, the Gila monster is a fucking pussy. Oh, okay. There you go.
I just want to call out the Gila monster.
Fight me, bitch.
Calling you out, Gila monster. Now, not you Mexican beaded lizard. You're pretty fucking badass. But the Gila monster, go fuck yourself.
Fuck that guy.
I'm not sure where that came from. But I didn't catch the whole thing in the live chat. But yes, trying to figure out how to do more with less is one of the biggest hurdles of being a filmmaker, no matter what you're trying to do. I ran into a ton of that shit while I was trying to shoot my web series, which is terrible. Anybody who has been on my channel has probably seen it. That first episode was rough, but I learned a great deal from it. Because most of that was shot in my apartment. Actually, it was funny. We shot it while I was transitioning apartments. So there were shots from the apartment before we left and shots in the new place while we were getting it set up, which is pretty cool. So you shoot where you know. And then, of course, the driving around shots were all shot in downtown Plano on a Friday night, so I could get all the lights and all the restaurants open, and we could get the cool lights playing off the car. There's some things that we did right in it. Some things we did terribly, terribly wrong. Mostly it was the sound and the lighting. But, you learn, and that's the whole it's the big thing. You make use of what you've got. You use HD, use the whole thing shot in high def. If you're gonna shoot high def, make sure you're shooting something awesome. And I don't think there's anything greater than full wide shots of the Outback, which I think is one of the coolest places on earth.
Oh yeah. Get yourself some good establishing shots.
Oh hell yeah. All right, so taking a look at this,
yeah, definitely.
I want to make sure I cover that. Yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, just want to make sure I didn't miss a point on that. So
that Australia, the wide, wondrous. Sorry, we just got a message in the chat. I lost my chat though. About how there's still people alive in Australia, so it can't be that bad.
There's still somebody living there. One person.
Yeah.
PhD Tony says, just to clarify, when you say funny, do you mean funny or Irish Demon funny? I mean funny. Irish Demon.
Hey, we're all still alive, so Australia isn't that bad from Dark Steve.
You know what? Irish Demon is not funny. You know why he's not funny? Because he didn't fucking show up tonight. I got 3 of the beardsmen here. Me, Johnny O, Tony the fucking man. I don't see Irish Demon. Where's Irish Demon at? I see no fucking Irish Demon. That's okay, Irish Demon. Well, holy shit. You know who I do see? I see fucking Team Skeptic in the chat. That's who I see. Team Skeptic, the man who opened the door, for me to do this, for me to be out here doing this. Okay, the man who literally said, "Hey, follow me around. I'll show you some tricks of the trade that you can go off and do it yourself." That's the man who literally is kind of like, check this out. Here's the community, and open the door for me to come in and start doing this shit. The man right there. Thank you, Team Skeptic, for stopping by.
Yes. Hey, I got a question for the audience, and if there's Australians in the audience, I have another question after I ask this question. What is the scariest thing about Australia to you? What scares you the most about Australia? I mean, after watching this movie, fucking John Jarrett, but
John Jarrett is the most terrifying thing in Australia.
these are actually loosely based off of murders that happened in the area, kind of mixed with another serial killer story.
I think the primary one was Ivan Milat.
Yeah, that happened in like I want to say the 90s, but then in 2001 there was an issue with backpackers getting lost, and then so there's like a whole thing. It's very loosely based due to like legal reasons and shit. But let us know what you think is the scariest thing in Australia. My question to anybody that's in Australia: what are those fucking spiders everybody freaks out about?
It's the redback spider, I think.
No, not the redback ones. The ones that are always always in their house.
The Sydney funnel web.
Is it the funnel web?
Funnel web spiders.
Yeah.
Man Devil. Dark Steve says the people. Man Devil says Boggins. Am I saying that right?
Probably Bogans.
Bogans? Dark Steve says dingoes.
That's still your fucking babies, bro.
Man Devil also said, we Aussies know not to touch the pretty octopus. He's talking about the blue-ringed octopus.
Blue ringed octopus, yeah. Yep. And then you got the box jellyfish, the little teeny tiny jellyfish?
On one coast is the box jellyfish. On the other one is the Irukandji jellyfish.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
I think the box jelly is on the east, and then the Irukandji is on the west coast because that's the Indian Ocean.
It's like in Texas, all you really got to worry about is like black widows, which are just like I guess like redback spiders there, and
huntsman spiders. Dark Steve.
Yeah, huntsman spiders. I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, and you got to worry about like copperheads and cottonmouths here, but then you go to Australia, it's like snakes are the least of your fucking worries. It's the tiny shit that can kill you the fastest, or the fucking great whites.
Because I think like here in America, I think there's like 5 or 6. No, okay, rattlesnake, copperhead, cottonmouth moccasin, coral snake.
Yep.
What else is there? Because the rattlesnake, there's like
we got vipers.
There's like 7 different versions of the rattler.
Yeah.
Because you got diamondback, you got eastern way, you got the diamondback,
western diamondback,
eastern diamondback, pygmy rattler. You got a bunch. So there's like the
timber rattler. Don't
forget about timber rattler. You got you got the rattlesnake. You got the cottonmouth moccasin, the water moccasin.
The vipers, yeah.
You got the copperhead and the coral snake.
Yeah. 4. I don't think there's many more. And then only 2 spiders.
And of course, 2 spiders, the brown recluse and the black widow. And then as far as lizards go, the Gila monster and the Mexican beaded lizard.
Yep. That's about it.
And the Gila monster is a fucking pussy, as said by PhD Tony.
Those motherfuckers are spread out here too. Like it's like you don't have to worry about them all the time. Texas, I've actually seen more poisonous anything in Texas than anywhere else in my entire life. But you go to Australia and it's like every square mile is 1,600 different species.
Man Devil pronounces it bogan. Bogans or bogans? Bogans. They are rednecks.
Red nucks, dude. Can you not read?
I said red nuts, but I thought it might have been a typo.
What's the ex-lover snake, Team Skeptic?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, we've got Man of War here too, though, Jessica. I was just down in Florida, down on the Keys, and they were so adamant about like, yo, watch out for Man of War if you're going to be out in the ocean, but also watch out for the great white sharks that have been coming up the coast. And also watch out for. I was like, Jesus.
Well, great whites typically over on the west coast because you'll catch them.
Yeah, they're over on the other side now.
They move. They've migrated.
They do. But tiger sharks are really the problem over there.
Yeah. We did see a bunch of nurse sharks. They were all over the fucking place.
It's tiger sharks and bull sharks. Bull sharks are a real problem on the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like just kind of stay out of the water. Apparently, everything's migrating where it's not supposed to be right now.
Fucking crazy.
Yes.
Animals
Wow.
are
So the scariest shit. There's a lot of scary shit in Australia, and of course,
the person
if you
who
can think-
divorced snake.
if you can think of anything else, throw it in the comments below or hit us up, weekendhorror@gmail.com. We love reading your emails. We do. Or check out our Discord community where you can talk with us directly there. Typically, you're only talking with me because Alex and Eugene are too fucking good to talk to anybody on there.
Hey, I pop in there.
You're pretty much talking to me the whole time.
I chat in there every once in a while.
Eugene, you know you're too goddamn famous and busy right now to fucking deal with those lesser people.
I'm in the Discord chat right now. What?
Keep in mind, Eugene will eventually tell us what his big project that he's working on is. If he's working on something major, possibly going to Netflix, I don't know. A lot of rumors swirling around this thing. I can't confirm anything. He's under NDA, so eventually he'll tell us what the fuck he's working on.
It's really, really big.
Probably after he's a millionaire and he's quit the fucking show. And he's like, well, guys, I'm done. Fuck y'all. Buddy.
I was doing this show for my trailer, right, every Wednesday night. So, and I'm sitting there like, hey, Brad Pitt, man, I'll see you later. All right, guys, what are we talking about Weekend Horror?
Oh, shit. Oh, hang on a second. I was getting a call. What's that? Oh, man, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Statham.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, man. So this
Don't ever apologize.
This brings us to the trivia question of the night.
That it does.
Yes, it does. Johnny, you are back. Would you care to do the honors? As I wrote in the script.
There we go. I knew it was coming up for the trivia question, so I finished what I was doing really quick. I pinched off the low. I mean,
Clipped it.
I thought you were sitting at a kind of an angle.
You're
no,
all
actually,
tonight, man.
had to take care of Bella. A little bit of a mishap, so I had to clean her up a little bit. Trivia question: in Santa's sleigh, how did Santa kill Virginia? First correct answer gets a copy of the 35th anniversary of the Thing art book. One more time. In Santa's sleigh, how did Santa kill Virginia? Comments in the old side chat.
I'm watching.
Ooh, who's been paying attention?
Paying attention.
Remember, at the Weekend Horror, what the first answer is the correct answer, and you have it.
First one to pop up.
Tony, I forget he's
God,
been
man.
all over this
Okay,
one.
I can hear the gears turning. I can hear them turning.
All right, see you later, man, devil.
Man, devil, have a great night.
PhD Tony,
Out,
there he
man.
is. There he
Yes, PhD Tony wins again.
Oh, Jesus.
He's killing it.
That is two. That is 2 wins for PhD Tony. Oh yeah, drowning
Oh,
after
my
burning.
goodness.
It's true. He got the whole kill.
And I don't even think PhD Tony was here for the first first movie on Santa's Sleigh. I think he jumped in after we talked about that one.
He may have.
E.T. probably has already seen it before.
Damn, that was fast because the I should have made the trivia question harder. But that was I was hoping I could bury it under enough stuff afterwards. But congratulations, PhD Tony. I had a feeling you were going to win this one. The Thing 35th Anniversary Edition art book, hardcover, badass collection. I have not looked into this thing, so I'm gonna have to get another copy for myself. This thing is really fucking cool. So this will be speeding towards your place as fast as I can get it to you. You won the last one, so I already have your details. We'll get this out to you ASAP.
Dude, just call him Mr. T. He's awesome at tossing small things.
I
I pinned the thing.
I'll throw it. I don't think he'd want to catch it.
Oh.
All right. So
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
cool. All right. Congratulations, PhD Tony, for winning our second trivia. I don't know what we're going to give away next week. We'll give away something neat. I do know Irish Demon is going to be on the show next week.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
As we debut our first Weekend Horror Abattoir.
Abattoir.
Because Irish Demon does not watch horror films. He's seen a couple in his day, but a long time ago. He doesn't watch them. They're too scary. So I gave him some real good ones. And we're going to get his reactions to it on our first ever Weekend Horror Abattoir. And of course, the After Dark special will still be coming out. We'll be chatting with him about his career and various other things, and also, what he thought of the movies. We're going to put that together all next week. That'll be coming out. Well, guys, this brings another episode of Week in Horror to a close. I want to thank everyone out there so much for listening. We truly hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, you can visit us at weekinhorror.net, where you can find links to all of our episodes, our bios, our merch store at Teespring, and of course, enter your email for a permanent entry to win a mystery horror shirt every single month. Eventually, we will have an email that goes out, but we haven't had one yet. So we pretty much just use it to give you guys free shit. For more horror entertainment, please be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and now on Instagram. Followers to that will get our daily splatter, a bit of horror info every single day right to your feed. You never know what you may discover. And we recently moved Week in Horror to a live format. This is our second live show, and we would love to get your feedback. So please shoot it in the comments. Shoot us an email at weekinhorror@gmail.com. And of course, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell for notifications for all the latest from the show. And lastly, if you truly love what we do here and you would like and are able to support our production, you can through our PayPal and our Patreon. We have patron tiers as low as $1 a month, bonus and exclusive content and horror films every single month. Links to everything, including the Discord community, where you can find film recommendations, trailers, trivia games, even interact directly with me, sometimes the other guys, but mostly with me, all in the description below. But of course, we know that these are extremely trying times. Things are probably only going to get worse. Just liking and sharing the show to your local horror community or the people you know who love horror is the absolute best way that you can help us continue to grow. Word of mouth, and you guys are amazing at it because horror fans are one of the best communities in the world. We appreciate each and every single one of you and your continued listenership. As always, I am JL.
And I'm Eugene.
I'm Alex.
I'm Johnny.
No, you're not.
We will see you all next week. And as always, stay scared.